special edition of the Blues Cruise, thanks to our friends at Wayville Hyundai, Tommy Lewis. This is the Magarey Medal edition, and the winning second semi-final edition.
Yep.
How's that, mate? So we
Thank you for having me.
what is it? It's 4 o'clock on the Monday. Well, it's less than 24 hours ago you got the job done. I've got to ask, how are you feeling right
Bloody
now?
sore, mate. Very sore at the moment. And,
What hurts?
my legs. My legs got battered and bruised a bit inside. And I was up all night because obviously we just made the grand final, so it's been pretty insane.
So, couldn't sleep?
No.
What, just looking at the ceiling?
Yeah, still pinch myself.
It's fantastic though. It was an amazing game for people that weren't there. It was a tight first half, but the second half, 11 goals to 2, was probably as good a footy as we've seen the Blues play all year.
Yeah, definitely. I think we just sort of adjusted, worked out what we needed to do. I think a lot of nerves, early on, settled.
Yeah.
And we were just able to execute how we wanted to play our brand.
So what is the Sturt brand? What epitomises the Sturt brand?
I don't want to give away too much, but
We've got to be a little careful here, don't we? Trade secrets. But essentially, what are you talking about when you talk about the Sturt brand?
just I guess controlling the footy, handballing chain and a stoppage, and getting deep entries for us works.
Yep.
A massive improvement this year. We've been able to, I think, almost double our scoring opportunities, and I think scores as well.
Yep.
From last year, so it's been a massive turnaround, and it's working for us at the moment.
Now, you are the Magarey Medallist as of a week ago. Does that sit nicely? Tom Lewis, Magarey Medallist.
Mate, it's been a hell of a week. I'm super honoured to have received the award. My phone's been blowing off non-stop. Still, hasn't quite sort of sunk in yet, but it's incredible. I'm stoked. It's
an amazing honour, and you won it by 10 votes, and you were clearly the favourite. So everyone that was talking about the Magareys, Tom Lewis is going to win, Tom is going to win. How did you feel in that sort of build-up? Because it would have felt like there was a bit of pressure on?
Yeah, definitely. The paper was sort of getting a bit out of hand. I don't want to go the early crow with it all, but going into it, like I said, I didn't actually write a speech until Marty was like, mate, on the day, you need to write something. And I was like, bloody hell, you reckon? He said 100%. So thank you to him and Sue. She helped me out with a bit of a speech, and I add a bit to it as well. So he just made sure we thanked a few of the good sponsors of the Sturt Club. Mate, I was nervous as all hell. And then when you called my name out with 2 games to go, I was like, I'm gonna have to bloody speak here, which I was so bloody nervous for. But no, it was good.
What does it mean to win the Magarey Medal?
Mate, it's obviously such a big honour, and it's highly regarded in SA football. And I think it's one of the oldest medals. It's the
oldest in footy. Yep, it's the oldest individual honour.
Oh mate, and to be a part of that group, as I said, it hasn't sunk in. And if I can achieve half of what some of the blokes, including some of those Hall of Famers that got inducted on Monday night, mate, you've had a pretty amazing career. For
those that didn't see how it all panned out, so you didn't vote in the first 2 games, but then in your next 14 games, you voted in 13 of them and had 8 best on grounds. That's just insane consistency. Did it feel like you were having a ripping year, or did you not allow yourself to think that far?
For me, it was just like, obviously at the start of the season, we've got a hell of a year ahead of ourselves, and after last year's disappointment, what I thought we did really well was we broke it down week by week. We didn't get too far ahead of ourselves, and I just sort of wanted to just play every game for starters. Just took it week by week and just put your best foot forward. I know it's pretty cliche in saying that, but it really holds you in good stead. If you really break it down, you don't look at the whole picture, you look at it week by week. We've got a great team, so I was very fortunate enough with the environment that we have around us, and the team success is it's been amazing to be a part of.
I want you to be honest here, right?
Yeah.
What goals did you set yourself at the start of this season? Obviously the team goal was to atone for the straight sets and win the flag. Personally, what goals did you set yourself? Yeah,
I mean, definitely was to win the Magarey, personally, and then just to get on the park and play all 18 games. You don't realise where you got till it's gone, and so just playing each week was just so special to be you know, a part of this team. But definitely, yeah, I had my eyes, you know, on it. But with the team going into round one, like on paper, I was like, we're just going to steal votes of each other all year. So I was like, I got Buckley's chance, to be honest. And you know, a few dominoes happened, and then, you know, I found a bit of a gap, and I was able to, I don't know, play some good footy.
How were mum and dad?
Mate, they're over the moon.
Geez, your dad was smiling. He was obviously there on the night.
Yeah.
I think he was clearly the happiest bloke in the room, wasn't he?
Oh, mate, by a country mile, I think. He still can't wipe the smile off his face. Yeah, he's through the moon.
Has he put the medal around the neck?
No, he hasn't yet.
You've got it here, give us a look.
I know, yeah.
You've got it there. He hasn't put it on?
No, not yet. I haven't really seen him too much after the night.
There it is.
Yeah.
That is the Magarey medal, mate. What a beautiful piece. So that's been around since the 1800s. They've been giving that out.
That's incredible.
Crazy. And you got a TV as well.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Thanks to Nick Karasoulis and the team at Harvey Norman and LG. I think you got a 77-inch. Do you need a TV at the moment?
Mine's getting on a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to it for sure.
That's nice. It's a nice little perk. Nice little perk to get. Right, now let's have a look at what's happened over the last few years, because I think people have been really amazed by your story of persistence. So you played state under 18s and you guys won the title, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And you had a pretty good carnival?
Yeah, reasonable. I was playing a bit of a pressure forward midfield role as well. I was vice captain, so yeah. And
how many clubs did you speak to?
I spoke to eight to nine, I reckon.
Yeah, and did you feel, did anyone commit that they were going to take you?
It was very close. Like, I didn't guarantee it. They said you're a very good chance. We're looking at you. You'll probably be mid-table. Yep. Around, like, you know, you pick 40-odd mark. Got a tour of Essendon like 3 days before the draft. Went to the Crows like 2 days, I think. And then I'd spoken to multiple clubs like 4 or 5 times throughout the year. Yeah, right. At my home and, you know, whatnot. So yeah, I was obviously pretty devastated. What happens
come draft night? Tell us, or draft day, how did it pan out?
Yeah, I mean, I was, you know, I'd spoken to like a fair few clubs and they sort of said, yeah, look, around the mid-table, that's where we're sort of looking. And then, you know, I think it just, you know, the way the cookie crumbles, a few, you know, players might slide and then all of a sudden you go from what you thought were mid-table to then possibly rookie, and then, yeah, it didn't, and then waited for the rookie draft, because that was like, I don't know if it was straight after or the next day, and yeah, I was obviously gutted, but you couldn't do much about it. And then I had a heap of clubs actually call me up after, and they said, look, you put a good pre-season together, you're only, you know, the flip of a coin, pretty stiff to not get picked up. Yep. So I was like, well, I'm just going to get to work and get as fit as I possibly can.
Did any of the clubs tell you why you didn't get picked?
Not really. It was just sort of like a bit of outside running, so just a bit of spread from stoppage two-way, because I've always been that inside contested player. You know, uncontested marks, and then trying to hit the scoreboard. Yeah, that was sort of around the mark. I initially thought I was too small, but
well, clearly not, mate. You're a monster, but you obviously put on a fair bit of size. Yeah, definitely. Since your draft years. What did you do personally after that sort of situation? Did you turn around? For some people it can break them, for others it, you know, drives that real determination. How did you deal with it?
Yeah, I'm the top bloke that leaves no stone unturned or to chance, and I just got as fit as I could. I think I won the 2K the next year for Sturt in the seniors, and then just got as strong and as fast as I could. Worked on sprint, you know, explosiveness. So did some sprint training in the off season, and then fortunately did my ACL at the end of my last pre-season game going into round 1, which is pretty unfortunate.
How do you deal with both those situations then? Because you must be just, you know, there's, I imagine, a fair amount of anger. Yeah. It's disappointing. Bloody every emotion in the book, I imagine you go through, wouldn't you? Yeah, I mean, definitely after, one of them was like enough, you know, obviously pretty gutted, but then to get 2 of them within sort of 2 months of each other, I thought the world was pretty against me at that point in time. But
I don't know. I just sort of like, I was like, I got a year, I guess, to not enjoy myself, but just do a few things that I don't usually do, which was actually let my hair down, because I was pretty religious with my training, and yeah, I hadn't really, I think, you know, been able to enjoy some time with my friends without thinking about footy or trying to get drafted, or, you know, actually enjoying yourself, and which I don't mind doing, but I hadn't really done that at the age of 19.
Yeah. So
I actually just let my hair down for a couple of months and enjoyed some time with my mates, went travelling, not really anywhere, but I did some interstate travelling, and you know, was able to just enjoy myself a bit. And then I got sort of, I don't know, a couple of months into it, and I was like, what am I doing with myself? Just needed to pull my head in, I think, and I was just like, there's an opportunity to sort of write a story and have a bit of a comeback. And I always, you know, you hear these stories, whether it's in life with you know, everyday people, everyone faces adversity. So I was just like, this is gonna be my story of facing adversity and coming over it.
You've done that. So do you reckon those really two tough incidents they've made you?
100%, yeah.
Made you stronger?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think, you know, the old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, definitely rings true. And I told you before, my dad had a saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and that really sort of sunk in with me. And it, you know, my family's been really good and really supportive, but it was just that never give up mentality. And I think that, yeah, I just feel like at the end of your career or your life, if you said you've had all these setbacks, but you're able to come back and, you know, achieve some great things, it holds you in good stead for life and football.
It's a good point. That's a great point. And then you have that happen. You obviously start to play some great footy. This spleen situation is really bloody scary. So take us back to that game.
Yeah, so it was Central's at home, and it was quite wet. And yeah, I felt like I was sort of cracking in and playing some good footy that season. And I guess, yeah, I think I started to establish myself as a good quality midfielder. You know, and yeah, I remember the contest, the ball got hit out and it's quite wet, and I grabbed it and I picked it up and I turned sideways to handball off. I think Casey Voss was coming off the half-back, as he always does. And yeah, I got sort of sandwiched with his opponent and someone chasing me, and I just remember feeling ill straight away. And yeah, you don't think much of it.
So you cop a hard knock?
Yeah, it was a hard knock. It sort of blew the wind out of you a little bit, and obviously enough to flex my ribs into my spleen, to tear the spleen open. But you don't think that's what's happened at the time. You just think you got winded, and I felt a bit sick. And I remember just going to Paddy Wilson. He asked if I was alright, because I took a while to get up. And I said, yeah, but I feel a bit sick. He's like, you'll be right, mate. You just got winded. I was like, yeah, Wiz says I'm alright, I'll be right. And kept playing out the game. And then, yeah, the rest of the night sort of got worse and worse. And yeah, it was Mother's Day, and yeah, as that sort of all unfolded, I was
what was happening to your body?
Yeah, so I was essentially bleeding out. I'd lost 30% or 40% of my spleen, and yeah, essentially my belly was just gradually getting bigger and bigger, full of blood.
What does your spleen do? I have no idea. Is it useful?
Yeah, you need it. It helps with your immune system. So it helps for produce, I believe it's white blood cells to fight bacteria or infections. So when you get sick, your spleen enlarges to help combat the sickness. And so there's one of the theories was that I might have been like, you had a sniffly nose or whatever, or a little bit of a sickness, and it sort of stays enlarging for a week or so. Post even you might feel alright, but your spleen's still enlarged. So there was a thought that it was enlarged at the time, and then therefore my ribs sort of flexing in was able to puncture them. And
so how did you get to the point you keep blowing up?
Yeah,
that's Mother's Day night.
Yeah, so Mother's Day night. Yeah, I was not hungry whatsoever. I wasn't drinking water, and then I sort of felt a bit lightheaded, and Mum sort of noticed I was getting quite pale. So then I just wanted to get some fresh air, and I almost, I sat down, I almost passed out. I was getting really lightheaded and really dizzy. And then I was like, maybe I need to go to the toilet. I haven't got to the toilet at all. And then I just could not for the life of me. It just was really painful. And then I just said I think I need to go home. Mum and Dad were quite worried, but I had my first day at a new job the next day, and I was adamant I was going to that, so I took some Advil and
oh, they would have done it. They would have done the trick. Did nothing.
Yeah, I think I got maybe an hour's sleep or 2 hours sleep, and got up ready to go. And my partner was just obviously Lucy was like, you need to go to hospital. Like, you need to get checked out. And yeah, as I said, you don't think you're obviously bleeding out. You don't think of the worst case scenario. You just, but that's probably a good indicator. If you're feeling sick, you haven't gone to it.
And were you bloating?
Yeah.
Were your guts getting bigger?
It would have been like my stomach had a 3 or 4 course meal.
Right.
Again, like so naive, and you look back and you're like, what were you doing? But I was pretty determined, and as I said, I don't really like taking no for an answer.
You went to work?
Yeah, went to work.
What happened? You driving around with your boss?
Yeah, so he showed me all the sites that they manage and you're sort of building at the time, and I was just trying to get through, and he sort of said you'd have like an earlier day. I was like, all right, sweet, I need that, I reckon. And yeah, it was going around site, and obviously stop starting, moving around left to right, and I was like, I'm gonna vomit in his car. And I was like just doing everything I can to try and stay focused and take some notes down and remember everything, but I was like all over the place.
Did he have any idea anything was going on? You were just...
I was just said, I think Chelsea, because Marty's wife was working, works there, and she was like, just take it easy, Tom, I heard you're a bit sicker. And I think she had a little bit of inkling, and then in the same time I was driving around, Nick Swingler called me. I called Nick on the way to the work site.
Head trainer Nick, who's been at Sturt since 1901 when they started.
Yeah.
He's been there forever, Nick.
Yeah, and he's a great man, and I just gave him a few of the symptoms, and he sort of said, mate, this could be quite serious. Like, I think you need to get an X-ray, an MRI done straight away. And he said he's going to contact the sports med. And I said, all right, mate. And he said, when can you do it? And I said, well, it's my first day. Like, it's going to have to be late. And he's like, mate, this could be serious. And I said, just no, Nick. I'll wait. I'll get it done, and I'll be right. And he's obviously spoken to Marty, because about an hour's time, Marty's called me on the phone quite aggressively. Said, Tom, you need to fucking go now, mate. And I was like, I tell him, Marty, I was like, mate, I'm fine. And yeah, because I felt bad, because you know, you first out in your job, you don't want to be like, hey mate, I've actually got to go get an MRI done right now.
Because I'm about to die. Didn't think that.
No.
Fair excuse.
Yeah, well, it probably is. And so anyway, I got through, and then I was like, righto, bugger it. Like, I left at about, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock, and went straight to sports med. Got the scan done, and I was like to the lady at the front desk, I said, I haven't eaten all day, or since like probably mid-morning before the game. I said, is it right if I go and try and get some food down? She said, yeah, like, no worries. So I went and tried to stuff some sushi down, and I could not get through anything. And then I got all of a sudden, I don't know, an hour later, I'd gotten like so many phone calls, just started spamming through, and Nick, Marty, sports med, and they were like, you need to go to the ER.
At what, the RAH?
Yeah, the RAH. They need to go right now. And Marty's like, mate, do you need to be picked up? Where are you? I said, no, I'm with Lucy. She's going to drop me in. And he was like, get there as soon as you bloody can. And so we started flying down the ER, or to the RA, and got there, and then there was a line up. And I was like, oh my God, there's like a 20-metre line up. I was like, we're going to have to wait.
It's a frightening place, at the RAH. It's as bad a place as you can ever go. It's scary, isn't it?
Mate, all sorts. Yeah. All sorts there. So, yeah, we're at the ER, and Lucy's like, this is ridiculous. Like, I heard someone was in the hospital, lining up because they didn't sleep well the night before, and then someone was trying to get a finger redressed because they cut themselves while cooking. And then Lucy's like, do I go to the front and I just barge in? I was like, there's 20 people in front of us, like, you can't really do that. And then, so we're sort of like having a semi-argument in the ER going, can you jump in front or not? And I don't know what you sort of do in that situation, but she then went to the security and said, like, mate, like, he's bleeding out right now. He needs to get checked out ASAP. Is there any way we can fast track this? And then the security was like, oh my God, is that him? And they worked out he ran straight away behind the docks, and then all of a sudden, these emergency doors opened up.
You're straight in. Oh, so it's like front of the nightclub queue.
Dead set, walked straight past everyone, and everyone was like, well, it was, he gets
what's wrong with him?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, like 7 doctors just walked out. This bloody whole bed was out, and yeah, I was taken in straight away.
And what was the recovery for a ruptured or torn spleen? How long were you in there for?
I was in hospital for about 7 days.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was sort of like heaps of tests were done initially, and I was given all the sort of medication under the sun to not feel anything. And it was sort of like my body started to actually control the bleeding out, and started to sort of subside itself, which was they was like very surprised about, and which I was like, yeah, pretty amazed about. The body was able to actually start slowing down the bleeding out, I guess. And so they said,
to keep you alive, essentially?
Well, essentially, and they sort of said it's a flip of a coin, which was the scary part. Whether so I had one night, if my body started to subside the bleeding more, then I would actually keep my spleen. But if it kept bleeding out, or it didn't control it enough, they were going to cut me open and take it out.
Which would leave you with what in terms of white blood cells and being able to protect you?
Well, so essentially you'd have to take medication for the rest of your life, every day.
Jeez. So, and how close did you come to really being in massive trouble?
Well,
the fact that having that removed, you're almost in danger.
Yeah, so they were sort of like,
dying.
yeah, and I know it's like, you hear these like live and die stories, but they sort of said I shouldn't have been, 1, functioning, and 2, realistically I should have carked it. And then I obviously was able to function enough. So the doctors were like brushing up on their ultrasound skills, because they were like, how are you still like functioning at the moment? And they were like, whilst also bleeding out. So I don't know, all of a sudden I became a test subject for about half an hour, which I didn't really understand at the time. But then I was like, that one night I was like, I'm gonna possibly lose my spleen, which means I'd have a massive scar through the middle of my stomach, and obviously be on medication for the rest of your life. So obviously very fortunate that I was able to keep my spleen.
So you've obviously been through the draft, you've been through the knee, and then this happens a few years later. Do you think with what had happened previously as well, this put you in good stead? Because you must have almost, your body's gone into autopilot. Did your mind do that as well?
Yeah, it was this was a bit more, I guess obviously scarier, but also like the doctor she initially said, she's like, I don't want you playing contact sport ever again. Like she said, she said, you're lucky to be alive. How could you be thinking about football? And I don't know, that was just the first thing that came to my mind. It's like, am I going to be able to play footy or not? And you know, some people think it's ridiculous, but other people, like, that's just what the sport does to you. You know what I mean? You're like, you live and breathe it.
Yep. So they actually advised you, said don't play again?
Yeah, they said no contact sport again. And then I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm playing. And she said, well, you need a minimum a year off, just to allow your body to fully recover, fully heal, and you know, just essentially become normal again. Because there was sort of there's no time frame, or there's no like return to sport. You know, training
something
program
like that.
It's just usually it's like a car accident from, you know, and someone's just like happy to be there. And but there was this one study done, and it was done by a lacrosse player that ruptured his spleen, and the theory was that the scar tissue, once healed in about 3 months, is stronger than the spleen membrane itself. And there was one doctor that signed off on it in Adelaide, which is funny, or a specialist in Adelaide that signed off on it, which was pretty amazing, of all places to be in Adelaide. So I just got advised for the first sort of 4 to 6 weeks, you couldn't get your heart rate above a certain RPM, which was, BPM, which was about 80 to 100, because you risk bleeding out again. And so if you did do that as well, you'd lose your spleen, because you can't sort of embolise the spleen again. So I was like just bedridden, which was pretty insane. The body wasn't used to that.
Jesus.
And then I guess after the sort of 6-week period, I just went pretty ham at the training, and I just sort of said, I'm coming back in 3 months. Again, you look at it and you're like, that was pretty stupid, but we had a belief that the team was going in places and we were in a good spot, and we made finals for the first time since the flag. So yeah, and
it's all done now. So everything now functions no problem with the spleen. You had all tested and
yeah, I had like 4 CAT scans after that, just to make sure it was all sort of healing and no more internal bleeding. And then I got the all clear from the specialist to come back and play, and I was able to play a game against Port Adelaide, and I did like about a month's training of, as hard as I could to get in as much training sessions as I could, get back some skill, some strength, some endurance, and was able to come back and play against Port, and we won that day, and I kicked a goal as well. And that moment was just one of the best moments. I think it was like the start of the double cobra phase.
This was the Now, when you were double cobbering back into it, obviously the biceps were still sizable, but they've grown as well. When did you start going nuts in the gym? Was it during time off with the knee? Was it?
To be honest, I started training weights when I was about 14. And then was pretty religious with training most nights. And then sort of once the ACL, I was in the gym like every day. Put on like, I think, almost 10 kilos
of muscle.
Yeah, that year.
Have you got to be honest here, you ever measured your biceps?
No, I have not measured.
Tom, I want you to be honest here. I'll ask you again. Have you ever put a tape measure around your biceps?
Not a chance.
Bullshit.
No, I mean, I think maybe when we were in year 9.
Yeah, of course you did.
We might have had to do some measurements or something. But
well, has anyone got bigger arms than you at the footy club?
Daniel Scholl and probably Amos Doyle would, they'd probably put me there.
We know that's not true. You're at least trying to be. I don't think anyone in football's got bigger biceps than you, mate. Fantastic. You love the gym, clearly.
Yeah, it's a bit of an outlet for me. Yeah.
Brilliant. Do you obviously don't just do curls, you do a bit of chest?
Yeah, do a bit of chest,
Bit of legs?
The legs,
Shoulders?
Yeah. Scotty Thompson, I'm trying to compare for him, I think.
Yeah, Scotty Thompson looked $1 million.
He did, mate.
He still looks good, Tomo.
Oh, mate, he's a machine.
He's in there a bit. Double Blues, it has been a brilliant year. You have to win the flag to make the year worthwhile. Realistically, I think after the season you've had, you have to win the flag,
mate, honestly, be a dream come true, and a super reward for not just this year's efforts, but 5 years worth of hard work. It'd be amazing reward, I guess. And as we spoke about, this story for us is it's been a long story, but it'd be a great reward for a lot of years of hard work. We're just sort of starting to see the fruits of it, in the last couple. I know we went out in straight sets last year, but this year's obviously, just been a massive growth for us.
What happened at half-time yesterday? Because it was tight, 2 goals down. Obviously, you'd been there a couple of years, the 2 the year before.
Yeah.
What was said, or did anything need to be said?
No, nothing really was said out of the ordinary. Marty didn't give a spray. He just said, we just got to play how we want to play for longer. Control what we can control, do the basics and fundamentals is what we pride ourselves on.
Yep.
And, we had that belief there. I just think the first half, it just didn't quite click. And whereas in the second half, I think, as I said, the nerves sort of calmed down a bit, and we were just able to dictate the ball more and control it. And I think, that's just what we can do, and if we can do it for 4 quarters, that just makes us really dangerous.
Has Marty ever ripped you?
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah, I mean...
Worst bake from the coach, what was it for?
It was definitely when I was younger, coming through the ranks, and I think I tried to take on the world a bit too much as a 20-year-old, 21-year-old. I think it was when he first came back from the Crows. He's been pretty good. He's actually calmed down a hell of a lot. He's not the worst person. He's just, he's intense. But he's just been, he's been actually very understanding this year. Like almost sometimes I want him to be more ruthless and give a few more sprays. To be honest, right. He's, I thought initially I was like, you've taken the foot off the throat, but no, he's handled everyone very well, and he's you know, very understanding of work commitments and outside of football. You know what I mean? It's a big commitment.
Who would frustrate Marty the most?
Who would frustrate Marty the most? I would say, I mean, probably maybe Will Coombs, maybe. He does some amazing things. He'll take mark of the year. And then sometimes he just misses a short 45 and it'll result into something. And I'd just say maybe
Right. That answer has been the same before from other people, don't worry. And he's great to watch, Will.
He's great to watch.
He's had a wonderful year.
Mate, he's a star.
Who's the biggest pest in the club?
What?
Most annoying bloke in the club?
It'd be Sam Conforti, I think.
Yeah, right.
Sam Conforti, yeah. Sam Conforti, maybe Angus Anderson up there as well. Yeah, he's not too bad.
He's had a good year.
He's had a cracky year.
What Sam Conforti, he's had a good year too. 30 odd goals. Kicked a couple of nice ones yesterday.
Kicked a few beauties.
What makes him a pain in the arse?
Pain in the arse. He's if you were to meet him, he'd be quiet as a mouse. But after a few drinks, mate, you will not get that bloke to shut up.
Serial pest.
Mate, he'll just be nipping at your heels like a chihuahua, mate, all night.
Know the type. I know the type. If someone is 40 out directly in front, they've got a kick for your life or for your spleen, who do you put the ball in the hands of?
To be honest, I reckon one of the best kicks at the club is it's either Nick Sadler or, to be honest, Flynn Perez has a really nice kick. Right. And I don't see him missing many targets, to be honest.
Right, so at shot at goal, you'd be confident?
I know Flynn is a backy man, but I
back him.
I back him. He's I haven't seen a nicer kick than his.
Right. Biggest tight ass in the club.
Biggest tight ass in the club.
There's always one.
It would be between Angus Anderson.
Yeah.
He's a young fella though, so he's been studying and he's working part time. Oh, he might be working full time, but he travels a lot as well. So, and probably Josh Owen as well.
Is he tight, little
yeah,
fella?
he can be tight. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What, like dodging
He's gonna
shouts?
hate that I've only brought this up as well.
Good on you, Honey, you little tight wad. What, dodging shouts?
Yeah,
everything.
Mate, you buy a beer, but you won't see the end of it. So.
Yeah. I can actually see that. I reckon, Honey. We'll have to get him in the car.
Absolutely.
At some point. Well, Tommy, it has been an unbelievable year, and it is just fantastic. I'm so glad that you won the Magarey Medal, because it's a story of persistence, resilience, of everything. It's just been quite remarkable, mate, and to get as many votes as you did. At what point did you know it was done and dusted? How many rounds in? Come on.
When
10 votes in the end, right, from Kobe Muck?
Yeah. When I was I think it was 11 or 12 up, and I was like, he's gonna have to poll, you know, best on ground every game on the way out.
And they didn't win a game.
And they didn't win a game, so I was like, Jesus, And then the leaderboard came up, and the boys were like, Jesus, I think you bloody won it, Tommy. And I was obviously overwhelmed and through the moon, but I was just all of a sudden started to sweat like, bloody hell, I'm gonna have to get up there and speak, mate. But you introduced me nicely, mate, so it's credit to yourself as well.
You did a wonderful job, mate. It was absolutely brilliant, and I think after having the season that you've had personally and the season that the club's had, you've got to win the flag. Let's be honest, because it's just been amazing. And I think we saw yesterday how easily you guys can score from so many different avenues when things are on.
Yeah, definitely. That's something we've been working on, you know, throughout the year, is just not being able to just rely on, you know, running out of stoppage and getting that deep entry. Can we shift the ball a bit? Can we change angles? You know, because you just got to have more than one way to kick a goal. And like I said, we identified that last year, and it's been a credit to the coaching staff, but also the playing group to be able to adapt, you know, that quickly in one season. So it's as I said, though, it's 5 years worth of, you know, hard work. It's
been a pretty amazing turn. I think you were 74, 76 points a game last year to 106.
Yeah.
Which is just brilliant. And to hit triple figures in a final yesterday against the team with the second best defence is a great result. Now, you're 25 at the moment.
Yep.
Have there been any recent calls over the past couple of years from any AFL interest?
Yeah, there's a few mid-season opportunities. Yeah. Well, it's not opportunities, but
been a bit of interest.
Yeah, talk, I guess, and then like some pre-season talk as well.
For this year coming up.
Yeah, as in just
this summer
this season,
coming.
or this
yeah, for next summer.
Nah, nothing yet as of yet.
Yeah.
Have to wait and see, mate. Hopefully.
Well, 25, you're still young, and we're seeing a lot of blokes still getting opportunities. You know, picking blokes up in their mid-20s. West Coast have done really well in the mid-season draft, so there's still that hope there.
Oh, mate, absolutely.
Well, mate, I'll look at it. We watch you play and watch you play again yesterday. You turn around and go, well, I'm sure that you could comfortably run around at AFL level, mate. So we wish you all the best. And that medal looks pretty good on you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good on you, Tommy.
I appreciate it, mate.
Good luck. You get a week off. See you in the granny in 2 weeks' time.
Looking forward to it, mate.
Beautiful, mate. Thanks for joining us on the Blues Cruise.
Thank you, mate.
And thanks to our buddies, Dylan and all the team at Wayville Hyundai. The 2025 Magarey Medallist, and he did tell me that the biceps are 18 inches. They have been measured. Have a look at them. They're just magnificent. We'll see a double copper grand final, right?
See how we go.
All right. See you, buddy. Well done.